Hi guys, welcome back. This is the beauty statement, and today this is episode 3 of how I do your makeup. Today Jennifer will be showing you how to make this look and recreate it. So if you want to know how to recreate this look, make sure to keep watching.
Okay, so for primer, I'm going to be using the Hydrogrip Milk Makeup Primer. I'm just going to put a thin layer all throughout her face just to keep everything even. I'm going to be using a brush. I usually use the tips of my hands, but sometimes I feel by using the tips of my hands I don't make it even enough. So that's why I decided to go with a brush. Okay, so for foundation I'm going to be using the Nars Soft Matte in the color Venatu. So for this I'm going to just lightly shake it and put a little bit on the back of my hand and start applying it with a beauty sponge. Okay, so I'm going to be working with a little bit of the product and then just blending it in her face. With this foundation you really don't have to use a lot because a little bit goes a long way. So what you want to do is just really like blend it in to make sure that you're getting everything. You really don't need a lot of product with this. Because if you put in a lot of product, because it mattifies instantly when you put it on your face, you're just going to cake it in and you don't want that. Okay, now that we finished putting our thin layer of foundation, we're ready to go with the contour. Now please just make sure that you blend everything well within the inner lines of the nose, like on the bottom as well. Because the last thing you want to do is start contouring when your foundation is not well blended. So before you continue with your foundation, just make sure that everything is well blended. Like in the corners of the mouth, the sides of the face. You want to make sure that right here on this side of the face everything is well blended, because the last thing you want to do is have like a streak of makeup right here and that's not properly blended. What you want to do is blend it down to the neck just a little bit. You don't have to go all the way down, just want to blend it enough that it looks like a second skin. Now for contour, we're going to be using my favorite Too Faced Born This Way. And this is in the shade Light Beige. And I'm also going to be putting a little bit of Natural Beige. So I don't want to overdo it with this because Light Beige is a little bit too light for her. But I do want to make it bright. So what I'm going to do is just put a little line on her under eyes right here. And then Natural Beige, I'm going to be putting it in the inner corner of the eye and in the outer corner. Just a little bit. You really don't need too much product. One of the mistakes you make by using makeup is that you use a lot of product. When you use a lot of product, you're just caking in your makeup. And if you want to look glam or natural, like either way, if you like stack makeup on top of makeup, it's just going to cake it in. So you want to blend it. I'm going to be using the flat side of my sponge. And then just blend everything in. Okay, so you can tell this side is already well blended. This side still has makeup on. But the thing that you can tell about the side that is well blended is that you see that she doesn't have an under, like the black, what do you call it?
The dark circles?
Yeah, you don't see the dark circles anymore. But she looks well rested. So that's what you want to achieve. You don't want to see the white stuff in the bottom or anything like that. You just want to brighten it to make her look more awake, and that's it. Okay, so for the under eyes, which I'm going to be setting, I'm going to be using Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder and Pound Cake. What I like about this Easy Bake Powder is that the product really does blur out your skin. So I'm going to be putting just a little bit on her under eyes to set it, not too much, around the nose, just to make sure that nothing cakes in, and on the top of the mouth. So that's it. As you can notice, I'm really not putting any more product than that.
I think what I'm going to do is buy the products that you have and then try to follow it step by step on the video.
You don't have to. Like if you have the baking powder on your house, you could just follow it with what you have.
True.
You don't have to buy the products that I have in order to follow it. Okay, so for the nose contour, I'm going to be using Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm going to be using this Flawless Finish. And I will be using this because I know this is a setting powder, but it was a bit too dark and I want to keep it as natural as possible. So this is dark enough for her in order to be using it as a contour. And for the darker spots, I'm going to be using the actual bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury as well. And this is in the shade Tan 3. So for the nose contour, I'm going to get a small brush like this one. And I'm just going to follow her natural line. There's really nothing wrong with her nose for me to fix, like any bends or anything like that. So the only thing I want to do is just make it look a little bit smaller. And that's it. So what I'm gonna do is just dip in the powder, like really dip it in there. Brush off any excess, and then just follow the line. So I'm gonna follow it from here, and then there's just a line. You wanna put the line as close to the edge of the bridge of the nose. And you want to make sure you blend it in with the eyebrow. I know I haven't done her eyebrows yet, but that's one of the reasons as to why I want to do the nose first before doing the eyebrow, so that when I do the eyebrow, everything is well blended. Now what I want to do is make the nose a little bit raised. So I'm going to put a line over here, and as you guys could tell, I'm going to be putting the line where the little tip stops, right here, because we're going to be hiding this part. And the product, I'm going to place it right here. And I am going to go back with the Huda Beauty baking powder. The reason as to why I like to bake the on top of the contour is because it's going to make it lighter than it already is. Meaning that whatever product that you put, even if it's light, it's going to make it look like your nose is that size. Now for the rest of her contour, I'll be using this Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in the shade Tan 3. Because she already has a small forehead, what I want to do is just hide this little bit part to make it more even. And I want to enhance her cheekbones, so I'm going to be putting the contour here. And I mean, she already has a great jawline, but I still want to see if I can hide just a little bit right here of this part to make it more sharper. So what I'm doing is that I'm just dipping the tips of the brush and the bronzer. That's it. I'm not like putting in the product in there, I'm just putting the tips. That's all I want. And even though it doesn't have too much product, it is there, as you could tell. So what you want to do is just like bring it back and forth. And right here, we want to make her jaw sharper. So we want to hide this part of her cheek. So what we want to do is put the contour right here. Right on top where we want to hide it, that's where we want to put it, right here. So we do the same thing. We just dip in a little bit of the brush and then just hide it. She doesn't need it over here or over here, just this part. So what we do is that we put a little bit there, we bring it down right here, and then we just continue using it until everything is well blended. Just this part, nothing else. Okay, so as you guys could tell, it is bronze right here. And right here, like it really brought her jaw out. Right here, when she leaves her hair down, you're gonna see the cheekbone right here, which is what we want. And you see that it's a little bit right here that gives her the tan look that she wants, but it's not hiding her small forehead. It looks well blended. That's what you want. So for the eyes, I'm gonna be using a fluffy brush, like a big blending brush, and I'm gonna be using this shade right here. And that's gonna be my transitioning color. So what I wanna do is like really bring it in, right here on the inner corner of the eye, and just a little bit below the brow bone. So I'm going to be extending right here. Okay, for the next shade, I'm going to be using this. Now I'm going to be putting it just a little bit below what I just did on the transitioning color. And I'm really blending the color right in here because I want to make her eyes look as big as possible. So by blending the colors on her eyebrow, it's going to help me do that. So for her under eyes, I'm going to be using these two shades. I'm not going to be using the darker one, just these two shades because I want to make her eyes look a little bit bigger. Now I'm finally going to wipe off the excess powder that she has on her face. For the blush, I'm going to be using Patrick Ta Cream and Blush. And then put it on the temples of her face. I mean, right here on this side. And just bring it a little bit on the temples. So where you want to put the brush is going to be on this side, right here. You don't want to put it on the apple because that's just going to bring down the contour that you put. You want to keep the blush over here on the temple and on this side, never here. Just stop in the middle of your cheek. That's what you want. Okay, so I'm going to be putting highlighter on the cheekbones, but for that I like to put setting spray first, so for that I'm going to be using the Milk Hydrogrip. I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face. Okay guys, so this is the end of the video. This is the final look. If you guys liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment on the section down below letting me know what part you like the most, or if you have any questions about how I finished doing this makeup or any tips that you want me to share with you guys, you can also leave that on the section down below. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the bell button to be reminded every single time I upload a video. Thank you guys and see you next time.